Hi everyone, and welcome to the temperature lab in our series of Catalase experiments. In this lab, we are going to see how frozen chicken liver, room temperature chicken liver, and microwaved chicken liver interact with hydrogen peroxide. 1 teaspoon of chicken liver has already been frozen overnight for our frozen sample. So now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon each of the room temperature chicken liver and the microwave chicken liver to the following 2 test tubes. Our next step is to add 15 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide to each of these samples. I want to add the hydrogen peroxide to each tube at the same time. So I'm going to fill 3 balloons up with 15 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide each, using this little syringe. Once each of the balloons is filled with 15 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide, I'm going to wrap it over the top of the test tube and tape each of them in place without flipping them over yet. Now that all of our hydrogen peroxide balloons are attached to the test tubes and taped into place, we are going to flip all of them over at the same time and see what happens. Now that our reaction has happened, I'm going to pinch off all 3 of these balloons at the same time and tie them off so that we can measure them. Now that I have each of our balloons tied off, we can measure their volumes. This is important because the volume of each balloon is going to be equal to the volume of oxygen that was released in each of the 3 reactions. So I'm going to measure the volume of each balloon by submerging it into this beaker of water. I have filled this beaker to the very top. So when I submerge my balloon in it, water is going to spill out into this bowl below. And the amount of water that spills into this bowl is going to be equal to the volume of my balloon. So I'm going to start off with our frozen chicken liver sample. I'm going to submerge this balloon into this beaker of water. And once it's completely submerged, I can pull it out. I'll remove this beaker. And the amount of water that I have in my bowl now is equal to the volume of this balloon. So we are going to measure the volume of this water in this beaker. This is the final number that we are going to record for the balloon volume for our frozen sample. Now that we have measured the volume of our balloon for our frozen sample, we are going to reset our measuring station and do the same thing for our room temperature sample and our microwave sample. Okay, next up is our room temperature chicken liver sample. So I'm going to submerge this underwater. Okay, now we are going to measure the volume of this water. So this is the final measurement for the volume of our room temperature chicken liver sample. Now for our microwaved chicken liver sample. Okay, now let's measure the volume of this water. This is the final measurement for our microwaved chicken liver balloon.